Hello. So today I want to share with you a few thoughts on why it is so important to notice small successes, not only the big ones. Generally speaking, people tend to notice big successes, big achievements. For example, oh wow, you bought a Ferrari. Wow, you bought a house in Miami. Wow, you went for a vacation to Las Vegas or Los Angeles or whatever. Those big successes obviously attract our attention and attract other people's attention. And of course, we all want to have some big achievements, big successes. That's amazing. However, it is also very important to pay attention to our small achievements and small successes. And let me explain you why. First of all, when you set a big goal, it always usually takes a lot of time to get there, right? It doesn't happen in one day. For example, if you decided to buy a house, it's a big goal, and if you don't have money immediately, it will take time for you to prepare for that, right? And get there and to finalize this process. Even if you have money, it will still take some time, right? What happens during this long period of time when you are still achieving that big target? You are still in the process of getting to that big dream. If you don't have small targets to hit, if you don't have small successes or small achievements, you'll be always comparing yourself where you are at the moment to that big target where you want to be in the end, right? And you will always be thinking, I'm not there yet. It makes your brain think about yourself as you are not good enough. This is how our brain functions. Imagine during a year or 2 years or 5 years, you'll be thinking about yourself that you are not there yet. What happens to your self-esteem and to your image of yourself? You'll be thinking about yourself as you are not good enough because you are not there yet. You have this target, but you didn't achieve it yet. And this is how your brain thinks about yourself. I believe this is not very good for our self-esteem and for our self-confidence. Much better would be if you will have small targets. If you break this big target or big process into small achievable parts and you have small targets to hit on a way, then you will be noticing your small successes. Every time you hit a small target, you will say, well done, good job. What happens to your self-esteem in this case? You will be noticing your small successes and you teach your brain to think about yourself as a successful person because your brain sees that you set a target and you achieve it. You set a target and you achieve it. Even if those targets are very small, your brain doesn't care. Your brain doesn't see any difference, to be honest. So for your brain, what's important is to see what happens with your personality. Your brain notices that you set a target and you achieve it. You set a target, you achieve it. It means you are a successful person. You are motivated. You are purpose-driven, which is very good for personality, which is very good for your self-esteem and self-confidence. For example, I have a big goal. I want to have a big popular YouTube channel, which is a great target, great goal. However, I'm not there yet, right? My channel is very small at the moment. Instead of thinking about this and thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm so small, I'm so insignificant, instead of doing that, I will be celebrating small achievements along the way. For example, today I'm making a video for my YouTube channel. This is a small achievement for today. Tomorrow I will be working on another video and this will be a next small achievement. And if I celebrate those small achievements, I will start thinking about myself as a disciplined person who can set targets and hit them, who can set goals and achieve them. Totally different approach. Another great positive thing about this is that you will actually enjoy the process because there is a big difference between like how you feel when you are constantly seeing that you are not there yet, you are not good enough. It creates a little bit of bitterness inside of you, right? You constantly understand that didn't make it yet. So you don't enjoy it. You don't enjoy this feeling. An absolutely different approach when you set small targets and you achieve it and you enjoy the process because it creates a positive atmosphere during the way, like along the way. You have this positive atmosphere of small achievements, small successes, And it's important to know them and to celebrate them. Why? Because it creates a positive atmosphere. It helps you to think about yourself as a successful person. Even if those achievements are very small. For example, you brushed your teeth. Nobody notices that, right? Nobody thinks about this as an achievement, but that's a small achievement every day. You made your hair cut, or you cooked a meal for yourself, or you made a bed. Those are very small achievements, but if you start noticing them, it will create a positive atmosphere for you, because like when you will be looking back on your day, you will remember that I did this, I did that. Those small things were achieved actually during the day, which is good. By the way, this is exactly the reason why we shouldn't compare ourselves to others. Because when we compare ourselves to others, exactly the same process happens. When I see some person, I want to be like that person, but I'm not there yet. I compare myself to that person and I see how big is the difference. It makes me feel that I'm not good enough. And if I do it constantly, I teach my brain to think about myself as I'm never good enough. It impacts self-esteem and self-confidence dramatically. This is something that we should really be avoiding. On the contrary, if you compare yourself to your previous version of yourself, that's a totally different story, because you can see the progress. You compare yourself to yourself in the past, and you see how you change over the time. You see that a year ago you were a totally different person, now you are much better. You developed, you grown, you got new information, you got new experience, you grown. And this is a positive change, and you notice that change. You compare yourself to the past version of yourself and you see how much you actually achieved. This teaches your brain to think positively about yourself, to have a positive image of yourself. So to summarize, it is very important to pay attention to small successes and to small achievements, because it teaches your brain to think positively about yourself, to see yourself as a successful person, and it creates a positive atmosphere along the way while you are achieving a big target. Good thing for self-esteem and self-confidence. Alright, that's it from me for today. I hope it was useful. See you soon in the next video.